Miami is boiling, and it's not just the weather. Oscar Piastri leads the F1 championship for the first time in his career.
Oscar Piastri wins the Saudi Grand Prix
with 3 wins in 5 races and ice in his veins.
Oscar Piastri wins the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Right behind, Lando Norris.
Lando Norris wins for the first time in Formula One. It's victory in Miami.
Last year's Miami victor trying to silence the doubts. And Max Verstappen, Red Bull's execution machine waiting to strike, just 12 points away. Tensions are rising. The sprint adds fuel. The main race could ignite fireworks. This isn't just a battle of speed. It's pressure, pride, and precision. Who's ready to break? Who's ready to break through? Let's break it all down. Hit that like and subscribe button, and are you ready to witness a wild weekend in Miami? Oscar Piastri is no longer just the quiet contender, he's the man everyone's chasing. With 3 wins from 5 races and a 10-point lead over Lando Norris, the Australian has muscled his way to the top of the championship standings. At 24, he's showing veteran-level composure, especially in moments that count. In Saudi Arabia, he capitalized on Verstappen's 5-second penalty,
with Max Verstappen possessing a 5-second penalty for leaving the track and gaining the advantage,
and managed the final laps flawlessly.
This is the final corner of the last lap, and
even as the Red Bull surged behind him. That wasn't dominance, it was discipline. Piastri's style isn't flashy. He's all about control, subtlety, and maximization. Where Norris publicly second-guesses, Piastri keeps it clinical. Alan Jones even said Norris is mentally weak. Harsh. But it underlines how unshakable Piastri appears. Importantly, all 3 of his wins this season have come in different styles. Dominant in Bahrain, measured in China, and tactical in Saudi Arabia. Despite a tricky car setup and Verstappen's pace breathing down his neck, he held firm. That speaks volumes. As McLaren's tire advantage narrows, Piastri's ability to adapt has kept him in front. The hunted is proving he's just as good at being the hunter. But what happens when the hunter is Verstappen himself? Let's talk Miami. Max Verstappen doesn't stay quiet for long. In Jeddah, he took the pole, pushed Piastri to the edge, and still finished just 5 seconds behind despite a costly penalty. That performance wasn't a loss, it was a warning. Miami is a Verstappen stronghold.
Max Verstappen wins in Miami!
He's won twice here, and no one forgets his relentless charge from 9th to 1st in 2023.
Verstappen wins the Miami Grand Prix with a masterclass of performance. 9th on the grid to the top step of the podium.
You give Max a sniff of a gap, and he'll slam the door shut before you blink. Verstappen trails Piastri by just 12 points heading into this sprint weekend, and the numbers don't lie, he's not far off the top. He beat both McLarens to pole in Suzuka by mere hundredths.
Max Verstappen takes the checkered flag to win in Honda colors in Japan.
And he's still driving with that Federer-like precision Horner raves about. And while Piastri held him off in Saudi Arabia, Verstappen's closing pace proved that Red Bull's race day speed is still lethal. This isn't a one-sided rivalry. It's 2 top-tier drivers trading punches. Max may have slipped on strategy or pushed too hard, but his execution is as sharp as ever. He'll have circled Miami on the calendar as the place to reassert control. And then there's the wild card, Lando Norris. Can he re-enter the title fight? Lando Norris knows this track well. He won his first Grand Prix here in 2024, from 5th on the grid no less.
5th on the grid to 1st at the flag.
But a year later, he returns with something to prove. Not to the fans, but to himself. He trails Piastri by 10 points and has Verstappen breathing down his neck just 2 behind. His form has been hot and cold, especially on Saturdays where he's admitted, "I have to work on my Saturdays." In qualifying, he's lacked the precision to unlock the car's full potential. Norris has the speed, he knows it. But mental sharpness? That's where questions creep in. While Piastri is ice, Norris is heat. Sometimes it scorches, and sometimes it scatters. He openly admits he hasn't been at the level I need to be, but also claims he's not rattled. It's round 6 of 24, he says, keeping his calm. But time waits for no one in F1. The McLaren car doesn't seem to mesh with him the way it does with Piastri. He said the differences are small but critical. Still, Norris believes he can bounce back, and what better place than the site of his breakthrough? But for McLaren, it's not just an internal battle. The sprint throws Verstappen right into the mix. The Miami sprint changes everything. With 8 points on offer, this 100-kilometer dash could tilt the title picture before Sunday even begins. Piastri, Verstappen, and Norris all have something to gain or lose by the time the checkered flag drops Saturday. And don't forget, Verstappen won the sprint here last year,
Max Verstappen, who wins once again in Formula One.
showing the kind of aggression and pace that's perfect for a no-holds-barred shootout. Sprint races expose who's truly adaptable. Piastri has shown here before. He finished second in China's sprint,
Second for Oscar Piastri.
then won the main race. Norris? Not as sharp. He managed only P8 in China's sprint. And Verstappen? When he's not tangled in strategy woes, he's deadly. His car's raw pace and short stints, especially at tracks like Miami, could be the key difference. Saturday's sprint will be about margins. The pole to turn 1 is just 170 meters, barely enough time to react. One late break move or poor start could shuffle the top 3 in an instant. Overtaking opportunities are frequent here, and Miami had 93 overtakes in 2024. This will be a brawl. But the sprint is only half the story. Sunday brings the real rewards and the real risks. Come Sunday, it's not just pace, it's execution. Miami's 5.412-kilometer circuit demands precision over 57 laps, and its hot, humid climate stresses drivers and machinery alike. The race last year saw Lando Norris make a clinical charge to the win. But will history repeat or rewrite itself? McLaren's greatest weapon in 2024 was second-phase tire life. But in Saudi Arabia, Verstappen's Red Bull showed it could hang and even close in the later stages. That advantage? Fading. Piastri still managed the lead, but called the race a struggle. If Verstappen keeps narrowing the tire delta, Sunday in Miami could be his moment. Then there's strategy. Pit stops cost 19.9 seconds. Every decision is high stakes. And with a 67% chance of safety cars, expect chaos. Positioning matters more than ever. One mistimed stop or poor tire call could shatter a perfect race. Norris, meanwhile, is counting on clean execution. His race pace is strong, but he's been playing catch-up too often. Miami gives him a shot to flip the script. One clean weekend could put him right back in it. So what's next in this red-hot rivalry? Let's look beyond Miami. Miami won't decide the title, but it will define the tone for what comes next. After this weekend, we'll know if Piastri can handle Verstappen over a full campaign, if Norris can still be a true title threat, and whether Red Bull has really found the answer to McLaren's early season edge. Verstappen is contracted to Red Bull until 2028, but the whispers about his future are getting louder. 3 wins in the last 9 races isn't the dominance we're used to. If Red Bull slips further, could Max start eyeing a new challenge? Christian Horner calls him the best we've ever had, but Max wants the tools to win consistently. Piastri, meanwhile, is growing into a complete driver. Not just fast, but smart. He's proving he can lead, respond, and outthink the best. If he stays steady through the summer, the championship may not be a dream, it might be a countdown. And Norris, he's on the edge. Either he levels up and makes this a 3-way fight, or 2025 becomes another year of what-ifs. Miami could be the fork in the road. Piastri held firm under pressure. Verstappen reminded everyone he's never out of reach. And Norris? Still fighting to turn confidence into results. Miami's sprint shook the grid, and the Grand Prix might just shake the championship. We saw grit, mind games, and razor-thin margins. This title fight isn't a 2-horse race anymore. It's a storm brewing between youth, redemption, and dominance. Is Piastri the real deal, or is Verstappen about to slam the door shut again? Can Norris claw his way back before it's too late? Drop your takes in the comments, and if you want more content like this all season long, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.